So what's up, everyone? Fucking Freak Chef episode this time, and I'm getting ready for a dinner party of 8. Now, here's the thing. I got a couple hours before I need to be there, but this is going to be a wing night. Actually, these are chicken chunks, from what I understand. Actually, I know for sure. Making them, but yeah, chicken chunks are going to be made there on site. All the chicken's ready to go, vacuum bagged, seasoned, and ready to cook there. However, what I like to do is I like to ahead of time do some of the sauces and stuff because sometimes there's a couple steps, especially when I'm making my homemade buffalo wing sauce. And I'm also doing my Asian honey sauce. So that's what's requested for this evening's event. Hell yeah. So I'm excited. I always can't wait to cook for things. Like, every time I have one of these events, it's like, yes, I get to cook for people and I get to be played with. Fuck my shit. Or in this segment, it's going to be my buffalo sauce that I make. Now, what I do is I have, I'm not too picky about the hot sauce base that I use. Yes, it's very easy to make with just like cayenne pepper, vinegar, salt, and I mean, there's really not much that goes into it. That's really about it. Now, what I do is I'm not too picky about which brands I buy, as long as there's not a lot of extra ingredients. In this case, I found this new brand and I tested it in the store, believe it or not. Just cracked it open, shook it, and just said like, okay, cool, that works. So that's why this one's already open, because I got them today. But it works. I don't want anything too hot, too overpowering. I like to use it just as a base. So, and in this hot sauce, I always stay away from like a lot of like extra ingredients and stuff, like, you know, artificial stuff, coloring, xanthan gum I see is in a lot of them, some corn syrups and stuff like that. This is simple. Aged red cayenne pepper, distilled vinegar, and salt. That's why I'd make it if I'm making it from scratch. So, the other thing, the other reason why I'm doing this video, I mean, it's just a simple sauce recipe, but I finally have a new one of these to replace my old ones, Mortal and Pestle, because kind of like when you saw me do the video of the butter garlic spread that I put on my burgers over the 4th. The food processor is pretty cool. I like the way it breaks down the garlic and stuff, but typically what I like to do is like to really muddle it really well in one of these little babies here. So we're going to start with our garlic and start breaking that up. Break it out of the peels, and we'll start getting it into our little toy here. Now, I had one of these, but I have no idea what happened to it. I don't know. But, oh, the other thing we can do is, since like little bottles like this take a while for the sauce to come out of, they have such a little opening. They don't have a little cap in there, but they have such a little opening. I'll typically just take it and start letting it drain out while I'm working on other stuff. And then we'll just start cracking some of this garlic open here. Get rid of our peels, trim our edges, and we'll start dropping them in our thing to start muddling. All right, so our garlic's broken down. That sauce tastes really good. And it's not too spicy. And it's just right as a nice base. It's spicy, but it's not hot, I guess I should say. But our garlic is pretty much broken down. Let me get this out of the way here for now. And now it's time to muddle. So we're just going to take all this and start smashing it up with this piece right here. Giving it a good twist. Giving it a good twist every time you stomp. That's pretty much the gist of that. What this is going to do is, and that's why I kind of cut them up a little smaller, is it gets it broken down really well. Now, what you're doing is you're breaking down the garlic cell walls, pretty much. I want to get a little scientific, and it's going to release a lot more flavor. Now, garlic adds some heat to your dish. So by doing this, you're releasing a lot more of that flavor and really adding to the heat factor. But don't worry, it's not going to be as hot as you think it is. Okay. Pretty much got it where we want it. Very aromatic. And this is what's going to release all this garlic flavor into that hot sauce. This is awesome. Now, we're going to take our hot sauce that drained out of the bottle. And I like to add some butter to it. This actually got really soft. I need something to kind of scoop some of that up with. Because what I'll typically do is add it into the measuring cup, because I know I got just under a cup. And just to make sure I got the ratio right, instead of just throwing it into the pot, I like to see it with the butter to make sure. And yes, it's kind of, there we go. There's a cup right there. And we're going to save a little bit of butter for later on. And we're going to get our burner on here, just on low. And we'll be ready to add our sauce here in a little bit. Now, we're also going to get some kosher salt. Add a few pinches of that to it. And we're going to test it as we go along. And then I'm also going to add some sugar to it once it starts heating up, so that I know. The sugar thing is you still get the heat, but it's not as acidic. So people can actually eat more of it and enjoy it a little more. If they like the heat, then if it gets really too acidic, because we want the garlic to steep in with the hot sauce. The longer the hot sauce and the garlic infuse, then it could become very acidic. It'll still have the heat of the flavor from the cayenne pepper, but the sugar is going to help keep it from kind of getting too acidic, I think, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so our little pot is hot. We're going to go ahead and put our hot sauce, butter, and all that into there. And what I like to do is add a little bit of water. So I use the measuring cup for that, because then it also helps rinse out some of the stuff that's in there and gets the rest of the butter and the hot sauce in. And I'll typically only add a little bit. Okay, let me get the rest of that butter out. Hot sauce is like kind of melting the butter here. Okay, we'll take our spatula, scoop out some of that onion mash, or garlic mash that we just made. And again, we're going to save some for the for our Asian sauce too. Okay, so this is going to simmer for a little bit on really low heat, and I'm just going to keep whisking as we go along and just incorporate everything. And then we'll add the sugar, balance it out, make sure the flavor is nice, enough salt, enough butter, enough cream to lighten it from the butter. And it's a nice silky smooth sauce, and the garlic's going to infuse into there. We'll test the flavor and all that. And in the meantime, I'm going to start working on the Asian honey sauce, and we'll get that set up next. All right, so I've been whisking our sauce together, butter, the hot sauce, the garlic and everything, and it's a little too thin. So what I'm doing is I like to add a little more butter to that, because that'll help thicken it up. And I don't want it too thick, but I do want it to be able to stick to the chicken chunks that we're making. So now I'm just going to go 1 tablespoon at a time of the butter and just keep whisking that in just like this until I get the right consistency of the sauce that I want. I want it to be a little thicker, so it's kind of sticking to the whisk, And we're just going to keep incorporating more butter into it, just like that. See, every version of hot sauce that you use could be different. So when you're using different hot sauces, some are a little thinner and than the others. So it's just an experiment every time I do this. And I'm going to add maybe just a little bit more. Now, another thing you can do to thicken your sauce, you can add a little cornstarch, but I don't want to do that. But that is another hack if you wanted to. And then the cornstarch will help thicken it as well. I need it a little thicker than where it is now because I want it to stick to the chicken chunks. So we're just going to keep playing with it. And if we need to add more hot sauce, if it gets too thick, we can. It's kind of like making like an Alfredo sauce. It's no different. But there we go. It's starting to thicken up a lot better now. You can see in the pot. Yeah, we got a good sauce going now. So we're just going to let that keep doing its thing and get happy. Hell yeah. All right, so we've been doing some cleanup and everything. And while I was doing the cleanup, the sauce has been just simmering and stuff. And if you look over here, this is pretty much what I'm looking for. See how it's thickening up, starting to stick to the thing. It's got some great color. And we're going to give it a little taste test and figure out how much sugar we need to add to it. Because again, we're adding that sugar just to get rid of some of that acidity, but it's not going to take away from the heat. So see how that's not like dripping off the spoon? That's a good thing. That's the consistency we want. And we'll take a look here. Oh yeah, flavor's great. It's actually not too acidic, but I do want to add a little sweet element to it. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of sugar in there. Just maybe about a teaspoon. Because that is part of my signature taste that I use in the hot sauce. So here we go. It's been simmering for a while. Barely bubbling, which is great. And look at how thick that got. That is absolutely awesome. Fuck yeah. This is very exciting. I'm going to do a quick little sample. See how that sticks to the spoon and doesn't come off? That's the way we want it to stick to the chicken when we put it on there. So it's silky, it's smooth, flavorable, and look at that. It's going to coat chicken nice if it coats a spoon like that. Let's take a little sample now. Make sure that our seasoning and everything is balanced out right. It's going to be a little hot, but fuck my shit. Fuck yeah, banging like a biscuit. Perfect. So, we're ready to put it in our jar. I always have glass jars that I like to use for some of these hotter sauces, more acidic based stuff. Just like a tomato sauce, especially when I make stuff ahead. Because the Asian sweet sauce is going to go in a metal container. But when I do this make ahead sauces, what I'll do is I'll take a big pot of boiling water, put them on the stove when I get to the venue or the event, and then I can heat them up and get them warmed up, and we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this into our jar and have it ready. But before I make a big mess, when I do this, I just want to say thank you, everyone, and I hope you guys like my videos and my content and everything, and thanks for supporting me. If you want your personal private culinary pain toy, Freak Chef, to not just do a freak show for you, but also cook for you and use me as your private culinary pain toy, check out my fucking website, painfreakofficial.com, and figure out how to book me for your event. So this is just one of two this weekend. Happy Labor Day, everyone. I know by the time you see this, I'm behind in editing. It may be a week later, but that's my hot sauce, or my buffalo sauce for chicken wings or chicken chunks, as we're doing tonight, recipe. And I got to get the cooler loaded. I got 20 minutes. I still got to do my eyeliner and stuff and get the rest of my chains and stuff on and put my shorts on that I'm supposed to wear tonight. So, love you guys. Thank you very much. And smash the links, follow, like, subscribe, and all that, especially to my subscription platforms to help funding me do this. Love you.